Are you ready?
Yeah, turn up the heat.
Are you ready?
Is he ready?
Oh, yeah, he's ready.
It's go time.
Ready to go beyond the scores and stats.
I love it.
Good.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Welcome to High on Sports.
The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello, and welcome to High on Sports. I am Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
And whether you're listening to the show tonight on one of the many glorious apps or at home on your computer, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your Monday evening, a little redundant, but I'm going with it. Anyways, remember, as always, you can call the show toll-free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at MorningShowCentral.com. Get a hold of us on Twitter. It is at high_on_sports or with the hashtag high-on-sports. Get into the chat room. It asks for a password. You do not need to put one. Just hit a name, hit enter, and you're immediately logged in and talking to us and whoever else is in the chat room tonight. Get to the website. It's high-on-sportsradioshow.com. You can find the archive of all our past shows, my blog, a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, that is high-on-sportsradioshow.com. Facebook.com/high-on-sports. And I think that's about it. We're good. All right. Jam-packed show for you. It is round one. Let's go.
Oh, this gong throws me off.
With the gong. Freaks me out. I never know it's coming. Obvious place to start here. No, college football rankings has been something that's been generally reserved for the second half of the show for pretty much this whole season. Excuse me. Because there are big games. You know, like it was a week ago. There was Alabama, LSU, big game. There's lots of big games, but they don't mean anything till now. Like for a team can lose early and come back and still be fine. But this is the part of the season. This is the real home stretch. Everybody's got 2 to 3 games left. Some of them championship games, some of them none. So this is really the point where the season really matters, and that is why college football is going to lead the show tonight because of a huge event. I'm sure you all know it, but we'll get to it in just a second. Let me start with our one AP ranking we're sharing, as we have all year. The Ohio State University Buckeyes are ranked 6th in the nation.
Let's go Bucks.
In the AP. Now, to the BCS, the one that matters. I got your top 25 right in front of me here. We're going to start with at 25, oddly enough. 25 to 21. Washington, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, Rutgers, Michigan is 21st. 20 to 11. Louisiana Tech, Louisville falling from 9 to 19.
Ooh.
They're a team that was only getting love because they were unbeaten. They didn't really beat anybody.
It's just they were
really
undefeated.
matters. It's just they hadn't lost yet, so they had to statistically climb.
Who was it? Syracuse that just
Syracuse,
tore them up.
Oh my God, it wasn't even close.
Oh, they won by 20.
It was a laugher. So falling all the way to 19. Number 18, the once mighty USC. 17, UCLA. 16, Oregon State. Texas, Nebraska, Stanford, Oklahoma, Clemson. Now we move to the top 10. Coming in at number 10, Florida State. At number 9, the South Carolina Gamecocks. At number 8, your Texas A&M Aggies.
Woohoo!
We'll get there in just a second.
Wow.
Number 7, LSU. Number 6, Florida. 5, Georgia. Number 4, Alabama.
Oh, Bama.
You may recall this time last week, they were unanimous number 1 in everything. Not anymore. Number 3, Notre Dame. 2, Oregon. And your number 1 team in the country, the Kansas State Wildcats.
Okay, K-State.
Good for them. Good for them. You love seeing a team like that on top because nobody thought over the last couple of years
It would ever happen.
that they would be on top. But let's go back to Texas A&M and Alabama here. And my man, Johnny Football. Oh my God, he is becoming a star of like Tebowian levels. And we're talking college Tebow, not pro Tebow. So you don't have to get all upset. We're not talking Tebow with the Broncos. We're talking Tebow with the Gators. Back when he was still, like, oh, that guy, told Timmy Tebow. Not a media circus that he is now. But no, my God, this kid, Johnny Manziel. Everybody kept calling him Johnny Manziel at the start of the season. Was always correcting them. Now it's just Johnny Football, so we don't even need to worry about a last name. Spelling, pronunciation, that crap. This kid is a freshman, but he should, by all likelihood, in my opinion, my humble little opinion, this kid should win the Heisman. If you're just looking at body work right now, this kid should win the Heisman.
Give it to him.
They should. They always do this line. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. He'll get his time.
Yeah.
He's a freshman. Can't do it yet. No, I heard someone today on a sports network, only kind of joking, say this will be the first of his 4 consecutive Heismans. Maybe we should slow down a little bit before that. But, I mean, come on. They do this all the time and stuff where they figure like, oh, well, they'll just do something good later. Later will be their time. Like who's that kid? What was the movie, The Sixth Sense? Who's that weird kid?
The little Haley Joel Osment.
Haley Joel Osment. He was amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
You know, didn't win the Oscar. Was nominated, right? He's nominated for the Oscar for Best Actor. They said, no, he's just a kid. He'll have his time.
No, it never came.
Let me tell you from the future. Nope. Nope. That dude is garbage. I think he's homeless. He might be homeless.
I know, he fell off the face of the earth, though, quick. And as soon as he was no longer that cute little child, it's like, we don't want you.
Exactly. That's
he
the
became
thing.
a gross adult.
Yeah,
That's how it is with
kind of like
actors,
Macaulay
though.
Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Don't ask, I can't say his name.
Macaulay Culkin.
Well, what the hell is his name?
Macaulay.
Well, the Culkin makes me say Macaulay.
Macaulay Culkin.
I can't say it.
He was really famous for a little bit there.
He was the best. Home
Was it Home
Alone
Alone?
was amazing.
Ah.
And then he
He made a
grew
living
up.
off of doing that.
All right, wait.
If you listen to the replay, I got my hands on my
Say,
cheeks.
say it again.
Macaulay Culkin.
No, Macaulay.
Oh, you just really
Culkin.
can't say this.
I can say Macaulay.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay.
No,
Macaulay
no.
Culkin.
Yeah.
I'll say it together.
Macaulay Culkin.
Oh my God. Whoa.
If I put it together, I don't know. My brain screws it up.
I don't know. Anyways, we could spend at least 2 hours on Macaulay Culkin, but
course
unfortunately, we don't have time this week. Maybe next week. No promises. But the point is,
Yeah.
before I got to this, the point is you don't look at a kid or a guy, whatever, and say, oh, he's too young to be rewarded for his work. Give it to the older people first. It doesn't work like that. The best wins. Number one gets the prize. The first place gets the blue ribbon. Doesn't matter. That should not be a factor looking in on this. I mean, Tim Tebow won it as a sophomore. Remember that?
Never should have. That was a bunch of crap.
Well, I mean, he threw for 20 and ran for 20. Touchdowns, I mean. That's pretty damn good. But anyways, this kid, though, I sat down and watched as much of this as I could. Because I just kind of had a feeling. I was like, Texas A&M, not so much a feeling as much as I really wanted to see what they do in, they've had tests in the SEC so far, this being their first year. But this is the SEC mainstay. This is the center of the SEC. This is what all the other SEC teams want to be. This is a team that just, came off a championship year and then won 2 years before that. So, I mean, they've won 2 out of the last 3 championships. I just really wanted to see how Texas A&M how they're going to set up this relationship. Because the last time, their relationship with the top dog of a conference is what ultimately forced them out, and that's Texas. They couldn't stand Texas anymore. It got to a point where all the media attention, all the money, everything was all towards the rival. It was a totally one-sided rivalry, and they got sick of it, and they left, and now they're in the SEC. So I really wanted to see how they did against the SEC's top dog. And right out of the gate, 14-0, it was just insane. I remember the highlight of the game for me was in the second drive. The second time Texas A&M had the ball. They're in the red zone. They're near right at the goal line, within 10 yards. And they had this play where Johnny Manziel, he's about to go down, right? He's swarmed by this front four of Alabama. They are all towering over him. He looks like, okay, well, I just wonder how injured he is. And then at one point, you can barely see, but it almost looks like he fumbles the ball. And you're like, oh, God, here it comes. Alabama's going to pour it on now. But then he emerged out the side of the pocket, standing, scrambling. And at that point, literally everyone else stopped before that. They thought the play was over. His own receivers, the defensive backs, the linebackers, everybody just stopped. But then he noticed his own player in the middle of the end zone, the dead center, with no one around him because everyone thought it was over. And he just chucked it to him, touchdown, up 14-0. It was beautiful. They go back and show it in different angles, slow motion. The ball was hit out of his hand, but then he grabbed it again.
Like
The
in midair?
dude caught his own fumble midair and then hit a wide open man in the dead center of the end zone. This kid is something. Then there's all these stories about him. There's this one story. Multiple sources have confirmed it. That actually 1 year before, I think it was before he was even at Texas A&M. So I mean, like before this year, he once on his way to a football game, I believe it was in high school, obviously. There's reports that there was a cat in the middle of the road that was gonna get hit by a car, and he ran into the middle of the street while traffic was coming.
Aw,
and
did he
saved
save the
the cat.
kitty?
I don't know.
I
I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounds pretty heroic. It sounds like a Johnny Football kind of move.
Yeah.
Isn't he? We
Just
need him.
stiff arms, a Ford Explorer.
This,
Watch out, I gotta save this cat.
this kid is something else. Against Alabama, who is supposed to be, I don't even know how to describe them, the Alabama of college football. They're Alabama. They've been number one almost the entire year. Since week 2, I want to say?
And that's just because for some god-awful reason, the media said, oh, we're just going to put USC at number 1 just so we can talk about them being number 1, just so we can watch them crash and burn, and they're going to end up out of the top 25 by the end of the year because they're going to lose again.
Exactly. The only thing people like more than watching a team come out and win and stuff is watching a good team fall. That is the only thing.
It has
like.
to be the only reason
That's
why
what
they put him at
USC
number
is.
1 because there was absolutely no reason for it.
253 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Not to mention 92 yards rushing.
Yeah, the boy can run,
Against this
too.
stout Alabama defense that's supposed to be unstoppable. And you got A.J. McCarron who never throws a pick, throwing 2 of them.
Yeah.
Now,
He should have been 3 because that one, did you see the one where the guy's toe hit like a fraction of a second
Yeah.
before his heel hit, so they called it off? I'm like, that's kind of shenanigans. But
now let's not. All right,
I mean, I understand when you're going backwards, your whole foot has to hit. But if you're going forwards and your toe has to hit, why does your whole foot have to hit when you're going backwards?
I don't know. America.
I don't know. It was pretty sweet though. So it should have been 3.
Here's the thing, though. And I don't want to rain on the parade, but I do want to say this: is that we are, if you don't know, obviously we can be heard around the globe. Hello, India. We are from the Midwest. We're Cleveland, Ohio. That's where we broadcast out of. Now, as Midwesterners, and really as anyone who's not in the Southeast, we are programmed to hate the SEC.
Yes.
I think hate is a fair word.
Yes.
I'm sick of the fact that they've won the last 7 championships.
Yes.
And I'm sick of the fact that last year they were the championship. That it was a game we had already seen.
That was a bunch of crap.
So, I don't want to rain on everybody's parade around here, but all I'm going to say is let's not celebrate just yet. Alabama is now 4. Assuming we have no more crazy statistical things, I think the one thing that could be left as far as a big leapfrog is if Oregon and K-State both win out. I think Oregon will become number 1 based on who they have left and everything. But other than that, the only way those 3 can drop beyond Alabama is by losing. Now, we look at Alabama's schedule, what they have left, and they do something that I cannot stand that the SEC does, is they put one of their little scrub give-me games
At the end.
Now, I know you can say, well, hey, they played Michigan, who was a top 10 team at the time, to open the year. Yeah, but you can afford an opening year loss. You can afford that. As unlikely as that sounds, that's something you can survive. Excuse me. But the thing is, they throw, and I know Ohio State plays the Miami of Ohio's and the Youngstown States and all them, but they put them in the beginning where they get that done and over with. Then it becomes a real schedule. The SEC likes to take one of those games and put them at the end. They play Western Carolina
Oh, Jesus.
this week. Alabama plays Western Carolina, 12:21 p.m. on the SEC Network. That's who they're playing Saturday. So let's not even pretend to kid ourselves and give them the win. All right. Then you got Auburn. It's the Iron Bowl. Classic rivals.
Auburn is
But Auburn
garbage
is
this year.
so bad. Let me get their record here. I don't believe they've won an SEC play just yet. They what 38-0? They just lost to Georgia.
To Georgia.
38-0. 38-0. Oh my goodness. They're 2-8 and winless in SEC play. It's hard to believe. Was it 2 years ago they won the championship? Now Gene Chizik might be out of a job.
Yeah.
So realistically, they win out, right? Alabama. I mean that puts them at 9-1 now. That's going to put them at 11-1. They're going to beat Georgia all their challenge left is Georgia in the title game. So let's say they beat Georgia. All right, then they're going to need some help. They need 2 of the top 4 to lose because obviously you can get in a championship game as the number 2 seed. Notre Dame, no championship game. They are independent, obviously. Their schedule brings them to Wake Forest. That should be a blowout. They should destroy them. Then it brings them to USC to play in Southern California to play the Trojans. It's an 8 p.m. game. I know USC's been bad this year. But that is just something. This is the ultimate test. If I'm gonna make a pact right now. Everybody's been giving Notre Dame crap. I even brought up before this year started. We all unanimously agreed. Let's just give up on Notre Dame. If Notre Dame beats USC in Southern California, I am prepared to never talk bad about Notre Dame for the rest of my. I will give them this perfect season. And I will try to claim that they should be in the title.
It wasn't just us, though. Everyone.
Oh, no. It wasn't just us. No.
Everyone.
I mean, they've been
up on
bad for so long.
Everyone out of Indiana.
Right.
Outside of Indiana.
Yeah, I might know a couple people who said, who never gave up on Notre Dame, but
And that's because
they
they've
were
either
few and
been
far
lifelong
between.
fans or they know someone who goes there.
Then we go to oh my God. We go to the number 1 scoring team in college football, Oregon. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at they're averaging 54.8 points a game.
Jesus Christ.
I'm looking at some of their scores. This is just what they've put up. 57, 42, 63, 49, 51, 52, 43, 70, 62, 59. Their low was 43 points in Arizona State.
I don't think they realize they play football. I think they think they play basketball.
This is a basketball.
It's basketball scores every week.
These are terrible basketball scores.
Yeah, it's like high school basketball scores.
Exactly.
Does it tell you their average of points against, though?
Yes, it does. Points against, they are 30th.
Ooh, they don't have the best defense.
Out of over 100. Out of 120.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, well, it's not good, but...
No, but out of 120, they're giving up 22.3.
Their defense is a bit suspect, but when they're scoring that many points, I guess it doesn't matter.
It's suspect, but exactly. It's they can hold it on. A third in rushing yards, 325 a game. Sorry, 325.1.
How is that only third?
I don't know.
Who the hell is 1 and 2?
I don't know.
Look that up.
Anyways, let's see if we can figure that out. Oregon is the one really going through the gauntlet here. Number 13, Stanford, and number 16, Oregon State. 2 ranked conference opponents, the last one being the Civil War, their big rival, Oregon State. But I'll say this, looking at the numbers I just looked at, there's not a chance in hell Oregon doesn't finish this year undefeated. Oregon is going to be the number 1 seed, and they're going to play in the national championship. I'm prepared to make that claim right now. Then we go to Kansas State, who really lucks out at no championship game because of the Big 12 not doing a championship game this year. They get Baylor and they get Texas. I'm not going to say they're going to win out. Let's be reasonable, but it's not impossible that they lose to Texas. It would be shocking, but it could happen. There's a lot of games like that left.
Is it
for
at
these
Texas
teams.
or is it home?
It is home.
It's home.
It is home. I mean, they're definitely going to be favored. They're going to be a huge favorite. But Texas is still Texas. So a lot of these teams, the games they have left are ones where you could see them struggling. But odds are they're going to win out, which is going to put us at an Oregon-Kansas State national championship. It's going to be weird. I would not have penciled those two teams in
God, no.
to start this year. But that's the beauty of college football. You could talk and talk all you want at the start of the year, but come this time, it doesn't mean anything. All right, that's it for college football. For now, we were going to talk NBA in this part, but I there's some stuff obviously going on in the NBA I really want to get into, so we're going to talk NBA in the second half. We're going to talk a little bit of football here now. It is NFL's Week 10, and this week is really characterized by some interesting rumors circulating, and there's one that hits pretty close to home. I'm going to share that in just a second about the Cleveland Browns. Here we go. And I want to say something too real quick. We talked about this off air, and I want it to be on air, so there will be a digital record. Anyways, Mike Holmgren Holmgren's the second part we're getting to. Excuse me. Andy Reid. They look so alike. I thought. I was thinking mustache. Who's the fat guy with the mustache?
Fat old white guy.
Now, Andy Reid. Andy Reid, of course, the Eagles lost again. They've already announced Vic will not be the starter next week. It will be this Nick Foles kid. Ooh. Who, if you saw any of his highlights, he had an interception that was kind of a questionable interception. But he had a real deep bomb. It was, botched coverage by the Cowboys, but it was a really deep, accurate pass. It looked pretty good. Who knows what they got there, really? But it's possible right now that Mike Vick has played his last game in Philly. It's very possible. Because all sources are saying they're going to use the buyout clause at the end of this season and get rid of him. Because he is just a sinking stone that they tied their ankle to. Yeah. It is a $100 million deal. Ouch.
That's a big number.
And the thing is, you get the feeling that Andy Reid has tied himself to his last quarterback. And ownership is going to finally be done with him. I am going so far as not only to predict that he will be fired at the end of this year. I am coming on air right now. There will be a digital record of this. It is 7:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, November 12th, 2012. Andy Reid will be the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns next season. And just note that I make that claim while Andy Reid is currently employed somewhere else, and we currently have a head coach employed by the Cleveland Browns. I am making that bold statement today on this show, on international internet radio. Andy Reid, head coach of the Browns. Next year, you heard it on High on Sports First.
You're really going out on a limb there, aren't you?
Well, all right then.
My defense.
Now, what happens when Andy Reid doesn't become the head coach of the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, I'm not worried. He will be.
Well, what happens? You got to think about that. What
I
happens?
don't know. What do I do?
He's not.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen apparently.
Does he
so
have to
there
make
is
an
no what
apology?
if.
Yeah,
I will come on, and I will make a heartfelt apology.
Yeah, I'm sorry. One
I'll
of my
have a whole
sports
speech.
predictions did not come true.
Right?
Terribly sorry.
I will have a heartfelt speech apologizing to the city, to the fans, to the Reid family,
Now that would be funny.
to everyone. I will come on air once the Browns announce their new head coach next year. I'm sorry, assuming they fire Pat Shurmur. Forgot to mention that.
I wonder if that'll happen.
Well, who knows in this crazy world we live in. But anyways, now
I
we
know
talk
why.
about.
Wait, I know
Yes.
why he's saying it. Because in around December 23rd,
The world's ending anyway.
we're gonna be dead anyway, so
Exactly.
it doesn't really matter.
See, I got you. I got you all.
Hogwash.
so he
I say.
could start spouting off anything, be like, "Yeah, I know this is gonna happen in this,"
We're
and
gonna
then
land on Jupiter next summer.
in a month and a half, we're all dead anyway. So who cares?
Anyways, Cavs win the finals.
Woo!
No, I'm not even gonna pretend on that one.
At least
anyways,
not yet.
Anyways, as we talk about my prediction for who's moving in, we talk about who we actually know for sure is moving out. Mike Holmgren, we already know at the end of this year, he's done. Now, at first it was being talked about that he would retire when this year's over, but in his sort of exit his press conference acknowledging all of this, he sort of held a press conference right after as if to say to the media, yeah, I know it's happening, so don't bring it up. He mentioned when someone asked about coaching, he said he still feels like he's got that hunger in him. And a guy that big is always hungry. I'm sorry. As soon as he said that, I was like, I have to go that route. Anyways, here's what I got, though. This is another situation. Excuse me. Another situation of the media trying to fill a coaching void that doesn't exist yet. This is, and I quote, sources who know Holmgren well believe Dallas is the one potential opening that would truly interest him, given the competitiveness of the roster, the skill players present, and his long relationship with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Something to think about. Could Mike Holmgren be the coach of the Cowboys next year? I'd say probably not.
If he's hungry enough.
If he's hungry enough. Certainly. Now he's denying some of these rumors. This was tweeted today. Hashtag Browns President Mike Holmgren on report that he wants to be coach of the Cowboys. Quote, I don't know how any of this stuff gets started.
I'm guessing he started it.
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, the thing is with rumors of this caliber and stuff like this, you're not going to go to the guy and he's like, I'd think about it. Yeah, I'd do it, sure. You're going to get rumors. He's not going to talk about his post-Browns career. He's a classy guy. He's going to focus on the Browns right now, even if it is only for a couple more games. 7 more games as quote-unquote president of the Browns. I read an interview with Joe Banner, the guy who's basically going to be taking over as basically already has, the CEO. It's ridiculous because, first of all, now this something I read was before the trade deadline, which was a couple weeks ago. Before the trade deadline happened, it was reported that Joe Banner would get final say over any proposed trade. But he insisted that I'm not the president. Mike Holmgren is the president. I'm the CEO. It's Mike Holmgren. It's still his job and everything. But I get final say over any decision he wants to make. It's like, well, then you're kind of have his job.
But is he making any decisions at this point?
No. This far in, what are you going to do? We're not going to fire our coach before the season's over. That's pointless. And we're not going to make a change at quarterback. Brandon Weeden is on pace right now to set nearly every Browns rookie quarterback record. It doesn't seem like it because of the win-loss record, but he's actually having statistically the best performance that a rookie quarterback has had for the Browns ever. But it doesn't really seem like it because of the, 2-7 record.
Consistently throw screen passes. Of course, they're gonna get caught.
Hey, he can throw deep
bump
too.
Your numbers up.
We've seen that. We haven't seen that in years. We haven't seen that since Derek Anderson. The deep bombs hitting Josh Gordon in the end zone and stuff. I don't know.
I hope it continues.
We've talked about it. I am a supporter of Weeden at this moment. I reserve the right to change that if he suddenly starts throwing interceptions nonstop. But anyways, another thing I was reading, it was an interview with Joe Banner, and he said something that I don't know why I just really enjoyed it. But somebody asked, will you also be taking over as president? And he says, no, I believe the title of CEO will be more than enough for me. But it was just kind of like how he said it, like, I could give myself any title I choose, but I believe this one will suffice. Like, he's not even talking about other jobs that would come along with it.
Oh, my
He's
God.
just talking about, like, another thing to put on the door to his office. Like, CEO, president, head of maintenance. Like, he's just going to fill his door up with whatever titles he chooses. But I believe CEO will suffice.
Lead chef.
Head chef of catering, strength and conditioning coach. No, I don't know. Well, that's something else I read about today that I'll talk about here. I'll see if I can post a picture up on a Facebook later. It's some rumored. Now, it's not necessarily true, but rumored Nike mock-ups of potential Browns uniforms. This isn't necessarily that Nike pitched these or anything. It's basically, even if they're true, they're just kind of Nike did it basically for shits and giggles. Like, this is what it would look like if we changed the uniform. And then it was something that was brought up today too. Some of the players were asked about it, and the responses were near unanimous that they a lot of these players would actually like to see a change in the uniform.
What?
And yeah, the change though, I'll see if I can get this picture up on the Facebook tonight. It's not a massive change. It's still very reserved, very much what the Browns are. It's just adding some options. 3 different jerseys, a brown one, orange one, white one, and then 3 different pants, brown, orange, white, that can be interchanged as they as they like. But the uniform itself doesn't really see any massive changes from the one they have now. I like it, even purely from just the extra options they have here. But again, we'll see if I can get that up tonight. When we get back, you're gonna find out what's urinating us off. We're gonna talk some college hoops if we get an opportunity, and of course professional NBA. We gotta talk about this Los Angeles Lakers fiasco. All that and so much more. You listen to High on Sports on the MSC Radio Network.
From the Cocaine Energy Supplement Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. Are you tired of all the overhyped advertisements for energy drinks and energy supplements?
Maybe skydiving from a suborbital spacecraft or jumping a snowmobile over 80 buses is not in your agenda.
Maybe you just want to make it through the day effectively. Whether it's work, school, or raising a family, life's demands can be overwhelming. When you need that extra kick in the butt to help get you going, try Cocaine Energy. You'll not find a more effective energy supplement. Cocaine Energy has higher caffeine content per ounce than any other energy supplement on the market, and it's safe. Worried about the side effects of so much caffeine? We got you covered. Cocaine is scientifically formulated to mitigate against the side effects normally associated with large doses of caffeine, such as the jitters and heart palpitations. So what are you waiting for? Try cocaine today, because life doesn't wait. Cocaine is available at local retailers and online at www.drinkcocaine.com. That's drinkcocaine.com. Once again, that's drinkcocaine.com. This product does not contain the drug cocaine. Duh. This product is not intended to be an alternative to an illicit street drug. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Not recommended for children, pregnant women, or people sensitive to caffeine. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits, a 99.5% uptime guarantee, and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. If you live the lifestyle, then you should arrive in style. Lifestyle Limousine Service. Whether it's dinner for two, an evening at the winery, or a night out on the town, Lifestyle Limousine provides extraordinary service. Check them out on the web, lifestylelimousineservice.com. Reserve your ride now. 330-903-0508. 330-903-0508. Lifestyle Limousine Service. And make sure you tell them Morning Show Central Radio Network sent you. Heat 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Having problems with your home computer or business PC? Looking to have some upgrade work completed on your computer? Have a special project in mind that may be too much for you to undertake alone? Time to call
Joe, the printer guy! Guy.
Joe the Printer Guy offers a full-service hardware and software repair center at his facility to handle your PC, server, and networking needs. Let their professional service staff handle your computer needs. They offer expert service at an affordable price. Visit Joe the Printer Guy at 14035 Madison Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio. Online, joetheprinterguy.com, or give him a call at 216-651-3880. Joe the Printer Guy. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC, and you know what saved them? Rectify backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectify backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectify can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectify.com. That's RECTIPHY.com. Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on MorningShowCentral.com. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello.
What's up?
And welcome back to High on Sports, where we were totally ready to come back.
Of course we were. I was sitting right here the whole time.
Anyways,
Never left.
I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
and thank you so much for joining us tonight, whether it's through one of the many glorious apps or at home on your computer. Thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. And, of course, remember, as always, you can call the show toll-free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. Get to the website, highansportsradioshow.com. Past archive of all our old shows, my blog, bunch of other fun stuff, all that and so much more. Again, highansportsradioshow.com. Twitter at high_on_sports or hashtag high-on-sports. Facebook.com/high-on-sports and search High on Sports on YouTube. And I think that's about it. All right, let's go. It is round two. There we go. Now, normally we start off round two with what's urinating us off. But this is a special occasion, as there is a massive story I really want to make sure we get to before we get into all the urinating off and such.
You biffed it.
Let me start with, we got some breaking news here. This isn't the big thing, but I figure while we stop the show for a second.
Ashley destroyed the studio.
And actually just breaking
I
everything.
fumbled. It was an accident. Fumble-risky.
Rookie of the years are out in Major League Baseball. Just breaking moments ago, Bryce Harper has edged out Wade Miley and Todd Frazier for the award.
Just barely, too.
Just barely, yes. And by unanimous vote, Mike Trout has won the AL Rookie of the Year. Was there any doubt? I mean, at all. It's just not even close. But that's not the breaking news I wanted to get to, though. Phil Jackson. All right, well, let me start at the beginning before I read what I got here for you. Of course, if you did not know, and if you didn't know, you have to be living under a rock or still without power, in which case, I don't know how you're listening to this right now. Listen from your phone. But anyways, of course, the Lakers, they fired Mike Brown. 5 games into the season. That move itself is just a head scratcher. I don't understand how you can do that. You had an off season to fire him. And what, you're going to judge him based on 5 games? You're going to say, well, these 5 games tell you everything you need to know about the guy. We didn't know this about him 5 games ago. And
it's reminiscent of a time when our beloved Mark Price went to go coach basketball in Australia and got fired after 3 games.
Oh, God.
How does that happen?
There's a time zone difference and stuff.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was the
So
main
like
problem.
3 games is like 5 there or something. But anyways, I don't know. Never been to Australia. It's lovely though. I'd like to go. But
Land down under.
anyways, so not only did they not have a plan in place when they fired him, they didn't even know for sure. I mean, what they were going to do next. They if you don't know, they hired Mike D'Antoni. I have no choice but to be blunt about this. That's a stupid move. That is an outright stupid move.
Well, who else are they going to get? Van Gundy?
Here's the thing. That's what we talked about on the way here. They should have got Stan Van Gundy.
Right?
Why go Nash's old coach when they can go Howard's old coach?
How ironic would that have
Right?
been?
That's what they should have done. Damn it. It's too late now. No, I'll tell you who they should have done. And well, this is another thing we're talking about. Mike D'Antoni does not coach defense. He just doesn't. And this roster is too old to run up and down the floor like he wants them to do. Like he's always wanted his teams to do through all of his stops along his career. And then you have Mike Brown, who doesn't coach offense. Insists upon defense. Defense. It instituted an offensive program in the Princeton offense, same thing Cavaliers and some other teams run, that he had never even run before. Implemented on this team. The man knows nothing about offense. If you could somehow combine these guys into a perfect coach, I mean, it would be perfect at offense and defense. And they could have in Phil Jackson. But they didn't. Now, first, some reports came out. Let me get this quote here. Right after they announced that Mike D'Antoni would be the head coach, reports came out that, here we go. Sources over the weekend said that Jackson made significant contract demands, including salary, personnel decision, the ability to skip some road games. First of all, let me just address that real quick. If any man ever in any sport has the right to make insane demands like that, it's Phil Jackson. In all of sports, he has 11 championships. The man has coached Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. No one is too big of an ego for him. No one. I mean, I don't even know what to say here. This is, if anyone should be allowed to have these demands, it is a man who has 11 NBA titles. But of course, this goes on to say, but NBA analyst Kurt Rambis, who has since spoken to Jackson, said that that was never even the case. That he didn't even have these insane demands. And now, mere minutes ago, Phil Jackson has released a statement that I have in front of me. I haven't even read it myself yet. That's how quickly it came out. But this is him talking about Lakers, I guess you'd call it president, Jim Buss. Everybody knows Jerry Buss. Dr. Jerry Buss was a chemist by trade. And eventually came into a package deal where he bought the Lakers for a couple million. And he's really the one that put the Lakers on the map and everything. He was there for the Showtime and everything like that. And he was the first guy to institute cheerleaders in the NBA, in professional sports. Because there was a story about it. He went to a USC game, saw them with the mascot and the cheerleaders and everything, and thought, why can't we do this in the NBA? And created the Lakers girls, which created Paula Abdul.
Ain't that the truth?
So thank you, Dr. Jerry Buss. Well, anyways, he's, 78 now or something. He's decided he's too old, so he's given up control to his sons. This was Jim Buss's decision. His son, who has no experience other than that his dad used to do this. So, Here's what I almost said Phil Collins. Here's what Phil Jackson had to say.
Wouldn't that be the best?
Why is it Phil Collins the head coach of the Lakers? That'd be sweet. Here's what Phil Jackson had to say in his statement. He says, and I quote, Saturday morning, Jim Buss called to ask if he could come and visit, Jackson said in a prepared statement released on Monday evening. I did not solicit or ask for the opportunity, but I welcomed both he and Mitch Kupchak into my home to discuss the possibility of my return to the Lakers as the head coach. We talked for over an hour and a half. No contractual terms were discussed, and we concluded with a handshake and an understanding that I would have until Monday, which is today, to come back to them with my decision. I did convey to them that I did have the confidence that I could do the job. I was awakened at midnight on Sunday by a phone call from Mitch Kupchak. He told me that the Lakers had signed Mike D'Antoni to a 3-year agreement and that he felt he was the best coach for the team. The decision, of course, is theirs to make. I am gratified by the groundswell of support from the Lakers fans who endorsed my return, and it is the principal reason why I considered the possibility. So they met for over an hour and a half, and an understanding was agreed upon that he would have until Monday, that is today, to answer them. But instead, a call came midnight Sunday saying, "Nah, we hired Mike D'Antoni." So this wasn't even that he had these astronomical contract demands, that he wants double-digit millions or per year. He doesn't want to skip out on some road trips and stuff. None of these ridiculous stuff that rumors were circulating about this morning. They just decided, nah, we're going to get Mike D'Antoni instead. Which is why I'm reviving a segment on this show that we haven't done in some time. It's called Designated for Assignment. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's been a while. Every week we try to designate someone for assignment, and what that means is it comes from baseball, obviously, if you don't know. When they designate a player for assignment, it means like, hey, we're done with you, so we are moving you. We are sending you down. We are cutting you. We are trading you. Either way, know that we've had enough of you. And that is why this week I am designating for assignment the Los Angeles Lakers.
Good.
For making the most boneheaded mistake they could have possibly made. LA, you will not win the title this year.
No.
You might not even
No.
go.
Phil
Phil Jackson
11
is
championships.
a brilliant
Mike
genius.
D'Antoni, no championships.
He might be the best leader in all of sports, not even just the NBA. I'm saying he might be the best coach / manager / figure in that role in all of sports. No one is coming to mind that I can compare to Phil Jackson. That's alive anyways, or still coaching. It's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So, there you go. Designated for assignment, the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, now we're not going to have time to do all of it, but we're going to try to get as much of this in as we can. Urinating off, of course. This is where we share stories that, urinate us off. I don't know how else to explain it. But Ashley, we're gonna go to you because you have a video here that I would very much like to share. I'm gonna see if we can. Yeah, we should be able to. Okay, we're going without audio, but Chris, you ready for that video? Yeah. Do you want to set this up?
All right. Anyways, yesterday afternoon, good old NASCAR race. Well, there seemed to be a little bit of a scuffle on the track, and Clinton Boyer, well, for the last, I don't know, it's like the third time now, he's done a little bump on Gordon. So then after Gordon gets out of the pits, he's kind of like, oh, you want to keep messing with me? Boom! Takes him out. Finish the race, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, Boyer's pit crew.
Let's not give that part away, but let's just say this. Boyer decides he's had enough of Gordon. And was it Boyer?
No, it was Gordon wrecked Boyer. Because Gordon had enough of Boyer giving him the runaround on the track. Cause
Gordon got sick of Clint Boyer, wrecks him, and the real beauty of this video is what happens after the wreck.
Oh, it was good.
Bear in mind, though, this was not a, Sunday afternoon in Pensacola or whatever. Yeah, or Pocono, sorry. This is the second to last race. And know that this is when there are 2 laps left. 2 laps left. And only 1 race left.
For the championship.
In the entire chase. for the championship. So this is essentially the fourth quarter here
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl, and this happens. All right, we have the cars moving. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Gordon spun Boyer into the wall. Took out, I think it was Denny Hamlin with him.
Took out another car.
Yeah, I think it was Denny Hamlin. Woo, there goes the pit crew.
And here it comes.
Man, Jeff Gordon got gay. Oh, there goes Clint Boyer running across the well, I don't know if it's a parking lot. The backstage. Oh, he got cut off. Tried to get him in his trailer.
You got Jeff Gordon inside that box hiding.
Yeah, he's just hiding. Well, he just got jumped by a whole pit crew. I'd kind of be hiding in
There's some news banter.
hiding in my trailer too after a whole pit crew just jumped me.
That
But
was
anyways, it's not even the fight that's getting me off. That's kind of funny. And the wreck. It's after it, Clinton Boyer sat there running his mouth about the whole thing, saying, "Oh, he's supposed to be one of the best. He's so immature and blah blah blah." And then a couple other people. Then Denny Hamlin, because he's one of the ones that got taken out just in like the crossfire. He got all pissed off and went to Twitter and tweeted on
Twitting on him.
Tell I don't tweet. But anyways, he got on Gordon's wife's Twitter and was like, "Love ya, Ingrid, but your man was wrong. He wrecked 15 first." Well, you know what? Jeff Gordon had every freaking right to wreck Boyer. Because a couple months ago, Boyer took out Gordon and Gordon's teammate Jimmy Johnson. Then a couple races after that, he took him out. And now this race, he spun him out in the beginning of the race, ruined Gordon's day. So when Gordon gets out of the pit crew, he's like, "You know what? I've had enough with your little hick ass, and I'm taking you out." And he put him in the wall.
You know what, though?
So I support it.
I don't support Jeff Gordon.
I don't really support Jeff.
Because here's the thing, it's the afterwards that Jeff Gordon always does wrong. Jeff Gordon is a big, tough guy when he's got a car to hit you with. But once it comes down to physical violence, he's running and hiding in a metal box.
He wasn't. Look, he just got jumped by a pit crew. Where'd you want him to go?
Fight back!
He had like 30 people on him. Did you see the crowd?
Where's his pit crew at?
His
Be
pit
backing
crew.
their boy.
Yeah, they should have been. But they
I'll
were
say
trying to
this.
break it up. There was like 100 people there.
I'll say this real quick. I brought this up before on the show when we bring up NASCAR. Tony Stewart's my favorite driver in all of NASCAR because he's tough as nails and he'll mess up your face, right? A couple years ago, I want to say it was 2-3 years ago, right? Something happened. I don't remember the specifics, but I do know Tony Stewart got pissed off about being wrecked, so he hopped the fence, went over to talk to a guy, and started trying to throw punches. I think he landed one. I don't know, but either way, they got pulled off and separated. The next week, Jeff Gordon had a disagreement with a fellow automobile driver, and he came over to talk to him, left the crash helmet on, went over and two-hand pushed the guy. While this guy is already just in the hot suit, like, let's rumble, Jeff Gordon made sure to leave the helmet on and give him a playful shove to show his furiosity and rage. That's the biggest difference to me. Jeff Gordon... And it comes to, I mean, Jeff Gordon's a California boy. His daddy bought him a car. His daddy bought him pretty race cars. These other guys are out there with their beer bellies, driving around in the mud. Someday NASCAR sees them and they become drivers. He doesn't fit NASCAR at all. He's probably the second best guy in terms of racing and stats and stuff in all of NASCAR right now, as far as at this moment. But he just does not fit the fan base or the culture at all. It'd be like if there was a football player or something who, when he's not playing football, was drinking white wine and like wearing like suits and stuff and things like that.
Suits.
I mean like fancy suits. Not like I have to wear a suit because I'm at some event or something.
Oh my
you
God.
know. But I mean, you get what I mean though. He doesn't fit to the fan base at all, and it's just felt awkward. It's felt like the square peg in the round hole, yet somehow it got in there and started winning titles. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna I'll share my urinating off real quick while we have time. It's about Jimbo Fisher. All right, Jimbo Fisher, head coach of the Florida State Seminoles, who have put up pretty good numbers this year, except for their one loss, which came to North Carolina State. All right, so his problem is with the BCS and their ranking system. But know that you're not where you are because the BCS is flawed. You're where you are because you lost to North Carolina State.
Unranked NC State. Really? Go home, Jimbo.
Here's what he wants. He wants things to return to the way they were before all this BCS hullabaloo. And you'd think most people are we're done as a society complaining about the BCS because we're getting a playoff in 2 years. We're ready. We just want to know the specifics of the playoffs. We are ready to be done with this. We're not going to complain anymore. We get it. We're getting at least most of what we want. Hopefully, this playoff can maybe expand to perhaps 8 or something down the road. But for right now, we're getting a playoff. And we're happy. As a country, we're happy. But not Jimbo Fisher. Here's what he says. I think it stinks, Fisher said. I think the BCS and how we do it with these computers... Sounds very confused. I think the BCS and how we do it with these computers, I think we're ruining it. And the playoffs isn't going to solve it either. They've got to change how we pick the top teams in this country. It's not working. I think it was better in the old days when you did it by the eye test and you didn't have a championship game. Jimbo Fisher not only doesn't want playoffs, he doesn't want a championship game. He believes that you should win the title based on how pretty your team looked on TV. Or, I don't know, how shiny your uniforms are or something. He wants to pass the eyeball test because that's so all-important. You know what? The BCS has not been perfect by any means. But a championship game is essential to figure out the best team in the nation. You can't just give it to someone. Look at... unfortunately, I wish you could a couple years ago, but Ohio State was number 1. Florida was 2. Florida ended up winning it. I'm sure there's a lot of Floridians who are very happy with that result. Last year, LSU was the number 1 team in the nation. Didn't they get shut out? Did they even end up scoring anything?
I don't know. It was bad.
It was really bad.
Ugly.
Number 2 won it. These teams go in there and you have to go out and you have to prove that you're the best. You can't be, well, they look better than they do. That doesn't mean anything. And Jimbo Fisher, you are... Do I even need to call him dumb? His name is Jimbo. His parents called him dumb with that name. Anyways, we're getting near the end of the show here. I do want to remind you guys, though, immediately following High on Sports is Von Erich's show, Everything in Between.
Indeed.
With musical guest Hour 24.
Yes.
Correct?
They are here chilling in the green room right now.
Nice. You can get in the chat with them, ask them questions and stuff like that, and listen to some good music on a quality MSC program. All right, but it's time to wrap this show up, and that is, of course, with 3 up, 3 down. Down number 3, the Atlanta Falcons lost their first game of the season, and it was to the New Orleans Saints, who were supposed to be bad, and now suddenly could potentially be in the playoffs.
Yeah, they've won three straight. Have they won?
I think they've won.
They know they won
4 or
2.
5 or something, and it's been ridiculous. I want to say like 5 of their last 6 or something insane like that, or 4 of their last 5.
It has been 5.
4 of their last 5 then. That's why I gave multiple choices.
I don't think it's. I think they're.
So either way, I'm right.
Yeah, they are at 4. Yeah.
They're close. They win next week. They're 500. Down number 2, the National Hockey League. After 4 straight days of meetings, no solution was found, and no more meetings are scheduled at the current moment.
Oh boy, they might lose the whole season.
It's looking like
It's a damn shame.
Hockey.
They canceled the what do they call it? That outdoor one where they're all like, look at us.
The Winter Classic.
Playing in the snow. Yeah, they already canceled the Winter Classic.
Now, if this continues, do they cancel the video game that comes out from EA Sports?
It's already out.
Well, the next one.
The next one?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even think of this going
No,
into
that's
the second
probably
season.
the only way NHL fans are like keeping themselves entertained.
No, I know the NBA. I remember
They
the
probably-
NBA were still locked out, and I bought the game last year, and there were no rookies because the rookies
'cause
weren't
they
part of the
can't.
NBA yet. So the problem is I was playing last year's Cavs with no Kyrie Irving or Tristan Thompson, and
I would demand my money back.
Abysmal. They of course released the rookies for free to download once the things were signed and stuff. Down number 1, by the way, Mike Brown, fired by Lakers after just 5 games. Uptime,
bad.
always like to leave on a happy note. I said it, though, when they hired him. I said, not a good move.
Yeah.
He's not a good head coach.
No.
Anyways, so you should go back to ESPN. Up number 3, Tony Gonzalez caught touchdown number 100 this weekend. First ever for a tight end. Unarguably, I'd say the greatest tight end in the history of the sport. Probably. Up number 2, Mike D'Antoni, hired as head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And up number 1, your Kansas State Wildcats, number 1 team in the BCS.
K-State.
Congratulations.
The
Who'da
Purple
thunk it?
Cats.
Special up, Johnny Football, for being great.
And
Thanks.
beating Alabama.
Thanks, Johnny.
Johnny
Good kid.
Football.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. So for Chris, for Von Erich, for Ashley, I am Ralphie saying good night, everybody. We will see you next week. Same time, same place. Thank you for listening to High on Sports on MorningshowCentral.com.